2016 presidential election winner is, drumroll please, Justin Bieber. Now, if we do change our legal voting age to the age of 13, this is the type of outcome that we would have. Realistically speaking, most 13-year-olds are not conversing about Democrats or Republicans. They're rather talking about music videos and the brand name of gym shoes, but definitely not political issues. The purpose of my speech is to persuade you all that it would be a major mistake to change the legal voting age to 13. The average 13-year-old is not educated on political issues that are happening and taking place in the world today. If we change the legal voting age to 13, we would have more double voting from parents, which would not make a fair campaign. In reality, if you ask the average 18-year-old about politics, they don't really know much about it either. I think it would be smart to start educating our children so that when they do reach the voting age of 18, they are able to cast an educated vote and do so and feel great about it. Schools should even have certain political curriculum requirements to ensure that our children are being taught about politics. At age 13, do you feel that you were informed enough to cast an educated vote? Personally, I can say that at age 13, I was not informed enough to make an educated vote in any political arena. 100% of my peers also agreed that they were not inclined at age 13 to make an educated vote. The average child does not learn about politics until they enter into high school. Does the average 13-year-old talk freely and scholarly about political issues? Honestly, I have never come across any 13-year-old that knows much about political issues. At age 13, I feel that we're lucky if we even come across a 13-year-old that knows who the president is, let alone any political issues that are trending in the world. 100% of my peers also agreed that the average 13-year-old does not talk freely and scholarly about political issues. At 13, did you identify with a political party without any parental influence? At age 13, I did not identify with any political party. To be honest, I did not identify with a political party until I was almost 19 years of age. Only one of my peers responded that they actually identified with a political party at age 13 that was different from their parents, while the rest of my peers agreed that they did not identify with a political party. Would you allow your 13-year-old to identify with a political party that was different from your own? At age 13, the only political knowledge that I had was that of which I heard from my family, and none of which I actually understood. I personally would only allow my 13-year-old child to identify with a political party that would be different from my own if I felt that they were well educated and could make that vote knowing what they were talking about. All of my peers agreed that they would allow their 13-year-old child to identify with a party different from their own if they were educated on politics. The fact that most parents would not allow their children to identify with a political party separate from their own would only result in many parents having multiple votes, because they would force their child to vote for the candidate in which they wanted to win. Would you feel comfortable with your 13-year-old partaking in political campaigning on topics such as abortion or legalizing marijuana? I personally would not feel comfortable allowing my 13-year-old child to have a say in political campaigning on topics such as abortion or legalization of marijuana, because they are once again not educated on these kind of topics. If you ask the average 13-year-old what an abortion is, 9 times out of 10 they will not be able to answer that question, which in my opinion is the way that it should be. The reason our society is in a bad place is because children are growing up faster than they should. Children need to be able to be allowed and able to stay children as long as possible. Allowing children to have a say on radical topics such as abortion and marijuana is by far ridiculous. Although our society is moving at a faster pace than it did back in our grandparents' day, our children are still not educated enough on politics to have a say-so. It would definitely be in our best interest to teach them more about political issues and political parties so that when they do become of age to vote, they are able to vote with pride. It should not take a rocket scientist to figure out and to realize that a 13-year-old is just a child that likes to play outside and climb trees, not an adult who can decide who should run our country. Thank you.